Welcome back. This is Mr. O'Driscoll, and today we're going to be doing 1-5, solving equations. But first, this is a 5-minute warm-up check that you can do on some exponent problems. Go ahead and hit the pause button, write these down and try to solve them, and then when you come back, I'll go ahead and show the answer. So please hit pause now, and I will reveal the answers. And there you go with the answers on how to do exponents. Writing it as products, writing it as an exponent, or solving them. So hopefully you understand how to do 1-4, and exponents should be a pretty easy thing for you. Well, now we're going to go on with the actual lesson for today, and we're actually working with State Standard 1.2.7, and we're doing one-step equations. I've written my notes in this format so the students can see the dotted line so they can put their notes on half the page, and as they write their notes on the other side they can see the explanation. So this is mostly vocabulary words and they're very important for equations. It describes what an equation is, and it's a math sentence that has that equal sign. When you solve, you replace the variable with a number to make the equation true. So I have to solve for what m is. A solution is the answer, the number that makes the equation true. So for example, 6 plus 3 makes 9. 10 minus 6 makes 4. We're going to go through the steps on how you solve for equations with more difficult numbers. Again, just like we did with expressions, we can solve these mentally. You might be able to try to think of a number when you divide it by 5 as a 4. So what number divided by 5 equals 4? You might say 5 into 15 is 3. Nope. 5 into 25 is 5. That didn't work. 5 into 20. So you would simply write, I think it's 20 divided by 5 equals 4. Well, you can see here what I did. I actually myself made a mistake. This should really be the 5, and the answer should be the 4. And that's a mental way to do it. Also, sometimes we have to work backwards. Now you're seeing an equation. 60 plus k equals 100. And right now, when we work backwards, we do the opposite. Right now, we're adding. So to work backwards, we're going to subtract 60 from each side. We have to be fair at the equation. If we subtract 60 on one side, we have to subtract 60 on the other. We're being fair. So here we go. 60 plus k equals 100. I subtract the 60 from the left side. I subtract the 60 from the right side. Opposites cancel out. And I find out that k equals 40. Don't just stop there. Actually go back now and write the problem and see if it really works. 60 plus 40 has to equal 100. Most students do not check the work, they just stop. So let's look at some slides here with some other illustrations. And I'm going to hide some information here from you. Oh, I'm sorry, it's taking a little bit too long. There we go. Let's just put the screen shade in because obviously you're seeing the answers right now, and that's a little too soon. Okay, let's go through this one at a time. So we want to direct the correct operation that we can solve this equation. Remember, we're going to be doing the opposite. So right now I see 7p equals 21. 7p, we've already talked about it. When there's a number next to a letter, we are talking multiplication. On the second problem, y plus 5 equals 15, I'm doing addition. We need to do the opposite. So we're just going to pull down here, and you can see those boxes. I'm going to pull out. Well, if I'm multiplying, is the opposite addition? Is the opposite subtraction? Is the opposite multiplication? Or is the opposite division? So I want to divide this by 7, but I want to be fair and do the other side by 7. Well, opposites cancel. I'm left with my p, and 7 goes into 21 3 times. On the other problem, we have y plus 5 equals 15. I want to do the opposite. No, I don't want to add. I don't want to divide. I don't want to multiply. I want to subtract. So we're going to subtract 5 from this side. And again, to be fair, we're going to take 5 from this side. Opposites cancel, and y equals 10. And then we're going to go on to 2 other problems. Now we have a subtraction. N take away 7 equals 14. Well, the opposite of subtracting should be addition. On the other problem, we have the letter x divided by 8 equals 2. That's division. The opposite should be multiplication. So let's go down and pull out our choices. Again, the opposite of subtracting 7 would be to add 7. And again, we do it to both sides of the equation. Opposites cancel, and 7 plus 14 is 21. Now we have our division, and we want to do the opposite. The opposite of division is to multiply. Parenthesis, a number next to a parenthesis means multiply. A number next to a parenthesis means multiply. Opposites cancel, so here's my division canceling out my multiplication. I'm left with my x. And 8 times 2 is 16. Now I'm going to slide over the actual answers. And you can see and check that we had done it correctly. Again, copy those down. Look at them, practice them before you do any worksheet or any textbook problems. You must look at your work if you want to try to get the correct answer. Now we have 4 other problems. There are 4 types of problems. We have addition, subtraction, multiplications, and dividing. Remember to do the opposite of what you see in the problem. And we have to be careful sometimes. There's some tricks with subtraction, and sometimes we write division in a very funny manner. So let's work on the left with our addition and multiplication. Right now you can see the problem. We have b plus 7. And sometimes you can do that in your head. But again, we're going to do the opposite work. Well, instead of, if I'm adding 7, I'm going to take it away. Again, opposites cancel. 12 take away 7 is 5. Now we come down to our multiplication, and we have a number 4 next to the letter v. Number next to the letter means we're multiplying. 4v equals 44. Well, we're going to go ahead and do the opposite of multiply. We are going to divide. So now we're going to divide the 4v by 4 and the 44 by 4. Opposites cancel. We're left with a v. And if you do your division, 4 goes into 44 11 times, and that's the answer. Now we have to be careful with the subtraction. This is one of the unusual ways we see it. It's more like pre-algebra. You have to really think about it. We have 20 equals 24 minus n. Let me drag this out here. We cannot have a minus letter. We cannot have a minus sign and then a letter. We have to fix that. Well, the way we're going to fix it is we're actually going to work with the opposite of minus n. We are going to go ahead right now, and we are going to go ahead and we are going to add the n. So let me slide this up so you can see it. Whoop, I can actually leave it down here. We can see the whole problem written over again. So I'm going to add n to both sides. Opposites cancel, and now I have 20 plus n equals 24. Now we can do the opposite. We're going to subtract the 20s. They cancel. 24 take away 20, n is a 4. And the proof is 24 take away 420? We know we did it right. Be careful. There's the deal. We cannot have a minus sign in front of a letter. We must do this work. Later on, we're in another chapter, I'm going to show you with integers a faster way to do that. But for right now, please pay attention to that. Regular subtraction, just like addition, we do the opposite. We'd be adding. Now let's talk about division. So I'm going to slide this one out of the way. And let me erase some of this so we can bring in the division one. Just need a little room here. Let's talk about division. I'm sorry, division. Here we come with the division problem. We have f divided by 6 equals 7. Again, we're going to do the opposite. Well, the opposite of dividing by 6 is to multiply by 6. Opposites again cancel. I'm left with the f, and 7 times 6 is 42. Circle my answer. The proof would be is, well, let's see. Does 6 go into 42 7 times? That worked out. Okay. One other thing you have to watch out for, and you have to really be careful and pay attention, is the way we write problems. This can be confusing, especially in the lower grades. Sometimes we write division as f divided by 2 is 12, or we write it as f, you might be more used to that division symbol, equals 12. We don't want to start doing opposites on a single line like this. It makes it very confusing. We need to rewrite it. All we simply do is remember, whatever comes first is on the top. Divided by 2, or divided by 2, f divided by 2. Now we would go ahead and do our opposites again. We would times that by 2, times that by 2. Our opposites cancel, and we're left with f equals 24. Just rewrite it. It makes it a lot easier, especially when you see it on the worksheets that you have at home or in the textbook. Rewrite it. Well, that's a recap of how to solve equations. By the way, don't forget to email me. If you have any questions, you can always send me an email. And my email is kodriscoll, and then we have the ampersand, amphi.com. Pick up some bonus points. Send me an email, and I'll give you 5 extra credit bonus points. So there it is. There's the email. Make it nice and big for you. Send me an email. Tell me that you've looked at the video, and you'll get a couple of bonus points. Have a great evening. Thank you.